Yes, we have already waited for the friends to come in for 10 minutes, near about 10 minutes. Um, and now let's start with today's class. Today we are going to discuss on types of research. In the previous classes, we have tried to gain some understanding about the concept of research and the concept of research in natural science and social science, and we have gained some comparative understanding about research between this one natural science and social science, then coming particularly to research in social work, and how it relates with how it constitute under social science research. And we have also covered many different relevant aspects of research that later on we will better review deep. We have we will have a deeper review when we have time. Now today we are to uh, go with class about types of research. See, there are numbers of criteria, numbers of considerations uh, with regard to classification of social science research. There are n numbers of researchers available in social science research, and since, as I said you, social science research is a very dynamic one, and it doesn't follow a particular line of research. Looking into the diverse situations, looking into the dynamics of problems uh, under social research, we have to take many different research designs and different types of research we have to conduct, looking onto the nature of problems we are trying to understand. It depends on what issues we are trying to understand, and how we want to understand what exactly we want to know, and what data we want to capture. All these things together, or at their own spaces, decide help us to decide, or make us to decide what kind of research we are to conduct. And every type of research has its own way of this one has its own goal, typical and very characteristic um, way of conducting research in a particular type of research. Okay, so um, we are as undergraduates, we are not to discuss all the kinds of research, but here the purpose of the discussion about a type of research is just to give you some basic understanding about some basic types of research, so that you have some fundamental knowledge about the differences underlying social science research. And as I said you, there are very critical differentiations, and very this one in-depth classifications of social science research, which going ahead you will try to understand them in deeper way, and broadly you will understand them. But at this level, It is not possible to, unless you have some basic understanding about research, it is not possible here to discuss all the types of research in the rigor they contain in themselves. That's why we are just to discuss some basic fundamental knowledge about the typology of researchers, so that you get to understand uh, the fundamental differences, and through that you try to understand different types of researches existing, different kinds of researches existing in social science research. So, to begin with, we have a first kind of research, that is basic research. See, students, as I have already said to you in the previous classes, the prime motto of research is to gather uh, and collect, gather, and add to the storehouse of knowledge. The base, the fundamental, this one um, goal of research is to gather knowledge or collect knowledge, gather them, organize them, and add to the storehouse of knowledge. Here in basic research, what happens? The research uh, is basically to gain knowledge, regardless of the need of the research, regardless of the necessity of the knowledge at the current context. It is conducted, basic research is conducted out of the curiosity and interest of the scientists or the scholars uh, to understand something and contribute to the knowledge house of the particular discipline or whole storehouse of knowledge. It doesn't have direct connection with the uh, application with the field or this one a practical aspect of practical aspect of research is not very much emphasized in this kind of research. Okay, in this kind of research, for example, at the primary level, someone researched about um, the universe. Okay, whether this one earth revolved around the sun, or sun revolved around the earth. That was something like basic research. Okay, that was basic research, and there were many misconceptions about that. And but then later on it was understood that it was a very important research. But when when the research began, there was not much uh, talk point about this kind of research. There are also many researchers conducted only to gain knowledge, so that they are immediately not applicable to the field, any field. But later on, in the coming decades, in the future research, they formulate fundamental or foundation for knowledge and research um, in different areas. That's what basic research, or pure research, or academic research, or fundamental research, all these are coming under the same category of research. Basic research, academic research also can be applied and action and many other kind of research, but primarily its purpose is academic. That's why some people call it academic research as well. So basic research, Pure research, fundamental research, and academic research are for the sake of knowledge, out of the curiosity of understanding different things to gather knowledge. That is basic research. It doesn't have immediate practical application in the short terms, but going ahead it may help as a foundation of knowledge for further or future thinking of research. And this kind of research also have uh, this one uh, evolutionary impact, lasting impact on policy areas and areas of studies, by adding knowledge to the storehouse of knowledge that inform many future researches. Then the next kind of research is applied research. Applied research is also is a scientific study, and that seeks to solve practical problems. Unlike basic research, it has uh, focus. Okay, it emphasizes on application of the findings or the knowledge that is gained from the research. It is basically to find solution to the problems we encounter, like in the field of health, cure for illness, the this magnitude of certain kind of diseases, the factors of diseases, the use of technologies, the needs of technologies, necessities of technologies, and this one, mm, in social work, we have different applied research. Social work particularly is very much interested and very much uh, held with this one applied research, because we try to solve human problems, and we want to apply our knowledge for solving practical problems in the field of practice of social work. So uh, applied research basically emphasizes on short term gains by applying knowledge in the field of this one social development, social problems. Okay, social problems, social development, and um, appropriate solution to those problems. So there is if you say see basic and applied research are just opposite to each other, but in many places, in many at times, they complement each other. So basic research provides a foundational knowledge to applied research. When applied research is conducted, it has to see the theoretical background. Basic research basically contributes to different theories and principles that are used in the long run. So here, applied research also follows some best foundational knowledge and principles and different theories to connect them in the broader perspective, and that's how they stand in complementarity to each other. Okay, basic and applied research, sometimes they are put under the same point as basic or applied research. Then the third kind of research is, of course, it can go under this one applied research. Okay, or it can be also this one fundamental research. But in typology, in simple typology, it is an analytical research, and analytical research is put forth in view of in comparison or in uh, this one in the context of descriptive research. So in analytical research, what happens? It involves critical skills and evaluation of facts and information. It is a very critical kind of research. It involves a lot of thinking onto the critical thinking onto the different factors associated with a particular research. It tries to understand the cause and effect relationship between different factors or variables. When we see this one, um, in the perspective of social research in social work, um, see, illiteracy is connected with poverty. Illiteracy is connected with poverty because as researchers have um, informed us, or studies have evidently said that education empowers individual for more opportunities in life, more opportunities in life to have dignified life. I say I'm uh, education is one of the interest area of my research. I say education is the master key that opens the door for uh, opens all the important doors for uh, human development. Human development. So it looks after your health. It looks after your further education. It looks after your this one, employment and income. It looks after your environment, education. So we can call it is a master key. So uh, what I meant to say, literacy or illiteracy has a direct connection to poverty. Poverty that many studies were interested in conducting research to find the uh, relationship between poverty illiteracy and poverty. And this is called this one following very rigid uh, statistical models and theoretical models. The literacy and relationship between literacy and poverty has been examined, and after that uh, it has been found that literacy has direct link with this one poverty. So this kind of researchers uh, are more rigorous and more analytical. That's why they are called analytical research. Then the the other kind of research is descriptive research. Descriptive descriptive research. So descriptive research is a kind of research that tries to explain or describe uh, the this one real time this one occurrence or real status or situation underlying a population or a phenomenon. I mean, what is happening on the field with a particular people or the subject of our research, when it is happening, what exactly is on the ground, the describing all of them. Okay, how they are happening, where they are happening, what is happening, when it is happening. So you are giving all descriptions of the exact situations, exact status on the field. That is descriptive research. Okay, suppose status of uh, you are investigating on status of uh, dropout among Malawi children. Okay, Malawi children, indigenous children in Malawi. Okay, you can say. So you will say where dropouts happen, when it happens, how it happens, what exactly is going on with regard to dropout in among the children in Malawi. Okay, so that's what you are trying to describe them. Okay, following different methods, maybe quantitative or qualitative case studies or focus group discussions, whatever methods you follow, but you are trying to explain, sorry, not explain, you are trying to describe as they are, as the situation, as it is. You are not changing anything, without any bias, without any the change to your findings. You are trying to explain them as they are, and you are not very much focusing on why those are happening. So this why question is addressed by analytical research or many other kind of researches that are undertaken. So here in descriptive research, you want to answer the questions of how, what, when, and where. You are exactly trying to describe what is happening on the ground. So that's what is descriptive kind of research. Many times it helps to uh, this one model or plan a more intensive research like analytical research. It is like a background research for your analytical or experimental research that we are going to discuss later. So that is descriptive research. Then of course yes, the next one is exploratory research. Descriptive research and exploratory research. Exploratory research is undertaken when you are trying to understand something very new and little is known about it. It has not been explored earlier, and you are trying to something you are trying to explore something. You are trying to understand, gain some fundamental knowledge about some phenomenon um, for the first time, to establish a ground for further research. It is uh, also can be a subset of fundamental research or basic research, you can say, but it can used both in applied research and fundamental research. So this is to explore something very new. Suppose mobile use, uh, extensive mobile use among children is affecting in many ways nowadays. So you saw in your community or around you that many children use mobile extensively. Use the mobile use time has been really increased among children, and why this is happening and what is the impact of mobile use, extensive mobile use. You are trying to, this is something new field, as mobile use has been the affair of recent years. That's why you are trying to understand them. That is uh, the impact of extensive mobile use. That's what can be exploratory research, and further you can merge with other kinds of research, and you can develop to analytical research or other kinds of research. So it is to formulate more precise questions that can be addressed in future research, as it is noted. Okay, so that is exploratory research. Then uh, one of my students asked yesterday about quantitative research and qualitative research. um, it will be a fitting answer to him. I hope he will get to understand about this. Uh, See, quantitative research and qualitative research uh, can be undertaken uh, for any kind of research we have discussed earlier. Any kind of research, they can be clubbed with any kind of research. Sometimes both of these quantitative and qualitative research can be used for same study. Once a research, same study, same topic, same problem, we can simultaneously use quantitative research and qualitative research. So what exactly happened in both kind of research? Let us see. Quantitative research is basically used when we are trying to understand the magnitude of research problem, rate, or this one, um, the rate or scale. When we want to know the rate or scale, or when we try to measure, when we need to measure quantitative aspect of the problem, then we say, then we adopt this one, quantitative research. Here we need to uh, this one, collect quantitative data like this one, this ages. Then when we study, you see the number of people affected by HIV/AIDS. What is the rate of this one, uh, people affected with HIV/AIDS? What is the number of this one, students? What is the rate or what is the percentage of students uh, those are addicted to drugs? Or what is the number of students uh, those who dropped from elementary school level, and how many of them um, uh, went for drug addiction, how many of them went for child labor? This is how, when you try to find the numerical aspect of thing, okay, numerical aspect of thing, you try to quantify the your findings, then you go for quantitative research using some statistical tools, some statistical models. Then you try to justify. And the quantitative research basically believes in this one, numbers. Uh, this tries to address, if you say um, there is child marriage among any this one, any section of population. Suppose tell um, indigenous children, or among indigenous people, there is this one, large scale child marriage occurring. Then what is the percentage? That is the question. We try to address this question. What is the percentage of people who uh, go for child marriage? Then we try to justify whether 50% of people, 30% of people, 90% of people who go for child marriage. Okay. Witch hunting, how many people are hunted, are the victims of witch hunting? Witch hunting, what is their number? So when we try to understand the quantifiable statistical data and justify our points of research, then we follow quantitative research. And it has been seen that when we rigidly follow some quantitative model, it is more reliable, expressively visible, reliable, and accurate and valid. uh, Without explaining much of the things, they are found valid in quantitative research. rather than qualitative research. In qualitative research, lot of subjectivity and lot of this one mm, variations, dynamics are underlying in qualitative research. But in quantitative research, you believe in numbers and you want to prove the things through numerical statistics. And if your numerical treatment to the research are correct, then they are more reliable, more accurate, and more valid. Then qualitative research, this stand in opposite to quantitative research. This research doesn't believe in this numbers much. This research believes in quality. And when numerical research cannot touch some of the aspect of understanding some problem, uh, then qualitative research is used. Suppose you say um, you want to understand um, the experiences, the experience of um, drug addicts, the experiences of drug addicts before drug addiction and after addiction. You cannot just quantify them. You have to understand the internal experiences through different behavioral observation and their expression. And these things are very much subjective, and you have to capture them as they are in real life situation. In real life situation, here you doesn't have much to do with numbers. What you have to see is, you have to see the qualitative aspect of the things. Okay. And if you want to understand the real experiences the women prisoners undergoing in jails, that can be more this one uh, more appropriate to understand them qualitatively by observing them, by living with them for some time through immersive practices, and by interacting them uh, through in-depth discussions. Then only you can understand what exactly uh, is happening to their life in the prisons. Okay, in the prisons. So some qualitative feelings, experiences, attitude, and perceptions that cannot be always counted in numbers. Many things that cannot be counted in numbers, those things are captured through qualitative research models and qualitative aspects. Okay, so very often, even to understand some of the things, you have to uh, integrate these two kinds of research, quantitative and qualitative research. You can integrate them and use them both in simultaneously and interchangeably. You can use them simultaneously and interchangeably. First, you can collect quantitative data, and to support them, you can have even qualitative data to justify or to validate the quantitative data you have under hand. So these are the kinds of uh, research that we follow. Then the next type of research is experimental research. Experimental research uh, is something like very much adopted in this one laboratory research or natural science research. But in some of the problems, understanding some of the problems, even in social science, experimental research is conducted. experimental research is conducted. And in this kind of research, you are trying to understand how different factors influence uh, an event in the community or social setting, how different factors uh, have impact on different things. You are examining those things through a close observation by following different this one models and statistical parameters to understand them. So that is experimental research. Under experimental research in the community or in the society, what you have to do is, as I have already said you, yes, in the previous classes, you have to have a intervention group and the other as control group. Okay, suppose you want to, as I said, you want to have you want to know the impact of intervention program of life skill education on adolescent girls. Impact of life skill education on adolescent girls, you want to see the impact. Then what you have to do is, you have to choose two approximate groups with similar kind of situation, similar kind of socioeconomic background, and similar kind of education, and many, almost all the characteristics, socio-demographic characteristics should be similar to each other. Okay, both both control group and intervention group. So you will choose two groups. Then you will give intervention to one group, I mean life skill education to one group, while you will control the other group, the other control group, which is known as control group. And you will see that no such intervention happens to those girls coming under the control group, so that at the end of 2 or 3 years of your experiment, you will evaluate first. You will evaluate and see what is the impact of life skill education among the intervention group, how they differ from the control group. You can better understand. For this, what is done, what they do in this one experimental research is, before beginning the experimental research, a baseline study is conducted. So what are the parameters of impact of life skill education among girls? Suppose what means, what is their hygiene habits? What are their hygiene habits? How many times this one they brush their teeth prior to the experimental study? How many times they take bath in on a day? uh, uh, what they use, how they use when they this one get periods, what kind of whether they use, what is the rate of use of sanitary pads, this one among adolescent girls when they get periods. Then uh, these are some of the parameters that can you can collect data in the baseline study. Then you will intervene in the intervention group. Then you will also control the control group. Then after 3 years of intervention, you will again study the similar parameters. Now, how intervention group shows a change and how control group remains back. What is the difference? What is the difference between the control group and the intervention group? or experimental group. So that shows how this one the um, life skill education have some impact on this one adolescent girls. That's how experiment is conducted in among the people in the community or in the society. It's a very interesting one if you are going to conduct experimental research, but you must be careful for some external this one factors to intrude into control group. For that, the researchers need to be very careful. So these are the different kinds of research. Along with that, we have also this one many other research like evaluation research, impact assessment, cost benefit analysis, then participatory research, action research. There are many other kind of research, but these are basic typology of this. This is the basic typology of research. If you understand this kind or this many of research, this typology of research, it will be easier for you to go for other kinds of research. Survey research also is there, historical research is there, library research is there. So there are many other kinds of research are there, but you I have given to you this basic fundamental types of research so that you gain some knowledge about them, and you can go for further study on research typology of research. Okay. uh, then now for you to show, I have only this many of slides for today. uh, Now we will skip on to the study material. Students, am I audible to you?
Yes, you're
Yes,
audible.
sir, you are audible. You are audible.
Yes. Yes. Students, do you have any questions with regard to the typology of research now? Types of research?
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, doctor. This one.
Yes?
Hello.
Yes?
Yes, good afternoon, and thank you so much for the lecture. I'm having only one question regarding the methodology of research. When do you apply a mixed method
Yes.
type of research?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. That's a very good question. That's a very good question. See, until recently, many people did not consider qualitative research to be a kind of research. Qualitative research, they criticized. Qualitative research was widely criticized on the field of research. But in the recent years, it has gained ground. Even in my PhD research, I used mixed research. And as you have valid question for this, is when we should go for mixed research. See, there are some research problems which need both quantitative this one exploration or understanding of quantitative kind of things, okay, quantitative kind of things, and qualitative kind of things as well. Suppose, let me give you an example. Say, I wanted to study uh, status of um, right to education, status of right to education among the indigenous children, status of right to education among the indigenous children. So here I will see, I have to see both quantitative aspect and qualitative aspect as well. How I will see quantitative aspect? I have to see how many of the children are really have uh, how many children, indigenous children, have access to school. What is I'm sorry, just this is urgent call. Further, hmm. ମୁଁ ଟିକେ ପରେ କହିବି କହିଥାନ୍ତି ବାଦ ମୁଁ କ୍ଲାସରେ ଅଛି। ହୁଁ? ହଁ, ହଁ। So we need to understand how many children have actually have access to school. uh, what is the economic this one income of the children, what is the income of the children who live who have better access to school. How many children have this one dropped out from school, and these are the quantitative questions. Okay, what is the age of children who have more access to school, and what is who children of which age have less access to school. So these questions are to be addressed through quantitative analysis or quantitative capturing quantitative data. At the same time, I have to see what kind of behaviors are meted out to indigenous children in the school that forces them out of the school. Okay, what kind of behavior they have to face, what is their experiences about their understanding in the classroom, why indigenous children have less interest in studies, why they have less interest in studies, what is the home situation of indigenous children that forces them that obstructs or helps them to have right to education. So these qualitative things also I have to capture. So first, uh, whichever may be the first, if I understand, better is always quantitative one. If you find quantitative one, if you find quantitative data, then supplement them with qualitative data. Why children, how many children of this one lower income group don't have, how many children don't have access to school. So what is the reason they don't have access to school? How many children have don't have access to school? That is quantitative way of this one quantitative aspect of your research, where quantitative research is at work. Then why they are not they don't have access to school? In many cases, at times, what happens? indigenous children are located in the inaccessible forest, and many times they are away from the this one mainstream population, and sometimes they hesitate to interact with or go to the this one general schools, and there are many other reasons which you can explore through qualitative interaction. Qualitative, you have to go into them, you have to live with them, you have to interact in depth, you have to observe them, why they are not able to get into school. Then only you can some qualitative things you can find, then you can supplement them. Why indigenous people have less access to school than other people. So this is where mixed research is important. Okay, I think I do make some sense. Hello,
Yes, doctor. Thank you so much. I've got you, and yeah, I think it has
welcome.
really
You're
helped a
welcome.
lot.
Yes, yes. Thank you. So further, we will be able to understand more things because we have been given very much interest, and it has been emphasized on qualitative and quantitative research in this paper. We have been given some more this one person to understand things. Um, as I said briefly, if you go through this material here, um, qualitative research um, tries to understand problems in the real life situation, real world situation, and unfold facts or unfold some this one, truth very naturally as it happens in lived experiences, personal perspective of the people. When we try to understand them in their own perspective or through their own experiences, as I already said you, um, especially when we study some difficult and sensitive topics, uh, it is always advisable that we take quantitative sorry, qualitative method of study. Okay, and they don't have much to do with numerical data or quantitative data to understand the things. Very often you have to go with um, qualitative data. Some very sensitive cases, like you see domestic violences, you don't have much to do with numbers. You have to go into the people, go be among the people and try to understand what exactly happens in domestic violence. Even when you study about prostitution, among the prostitutes, if you want to research on prostitutes, or when you research on hiv patients, you cannot just count them by numbers. You have to go into them and try to understand what are the subjective aspect of things, making them more vulnerable to those problems. Then actually qualitative things provides a holistic this one approach or holistic perspective to some of the complex problems under study. Okay, it tries to understand the uh, 360 degree 360 degree of particular problem, why something happens, what situations are this one making something to happen in the society, and uh, what are the this one external factors contributing to those, why certain things are not happening. So these things can be understand only through in-depth or immersive activities under the research. And for qualitative research, what you have to do, many there are many tools and methods and techniques that are used for qualitative this one studies. One among them is your in-depth interview. Then the other is your focus group discussion. Okay, focus group discussion. Then observation. Okay, observation, participant or non-participant observation. Participant observation is when people act and you are among them, and you are participating in their activities, and through activities you are trying to observe them. That is what participant observation. And non-participant observation is you are looking at a group of people or your subjects without participating in their work. You are observing as an outsider. You don't participate with them, but you are observing when they are playing or when they are at their place. You are observing as outsider. That that is participant observation. Then this one case studies, of course. Case studies also are conducted. Case study is you are trying to understand people or their situation case by case. Case by case. Case may be an individual. You are trying to understand a problem of a drug addict by um, studying on a single individual one by one. You are making a detail delve into individual's life, drug addict's life, and you are trying to capture entire things happening in his life, entire situation. What are the factors forced him? What is his socioeconomic background? What is genetic background? What is the immediate problem, and how it has impact? All these things you will chronologically study about an individual. Or case study can be also about a family, or it can be about a village, or it can be about an institution. uh, Say for example, a school. Case study can be conducted about a particular school, a single school. What all things this one entirely happening in the school? What is the background? What is the history of the school? Who are the major enrolled children in the school? Who are this one? What is the governing this one? Who governs the school? And what are the problems of the school? Uh, who are the children studying in the school? What is their economic this one socioeconomic situation? What are the teachers? You are trying to collect the entirety of this information and putting them in pen and paper or wherever, and organizing this information to this one argue something. Okay, that what are the situation happening in particular school. Similarly, you can also study even in the broader context. You can also study a community as a case. You can take a community as a case, whole community as a case, a village as a case. So case study also are done. So first is in-depth interview to understand the experiences, internal feeling, this one attitude and perception through in-depth interviews. Interviews are conducted. Observation is conducted to understand things in their uh, real life world. Okay, real life world. Then you have to have focus group discussion. Focus group discussion, you are selecting some people in their context and trying to interact them in a uh, informal way to gain some insight into some selected problems that you are interested in. So these are focus group discussions. Then in this study, like unlike your quantitative research, you don't have to have a very structured approach of research. You don't know uh, what is the next in qualitative research. It is the problem that guides you ahead, the situation that guides you ahead. You don't have any fixed this one model to move on in qualitative study. You just move ahead, uh, and according to the situation, you have to take prompt decision on the field, looking into certain problems in the field. You don't have a very structured kind of study under qualitative research. And under qualitative study, what you have to do, you cannot take large this one samples like you take in quantitative study. You have to take small samples, like a few villages. One village also can have a study, few villages, few schools, or a single community, that can be taken as a sample in qualitative study. And you need rich description of data compliances. Okay. um, Otherwise it complicates your research. um, it also helps qualitative addition. In qualitative research, it is very difficult to undertake this one experimental or linear or longitudinal studies. It is one time research. um, what is exactly happening among the people at a given time. Okay. What is happening with the informants or respondents uh, in a given point of time. So you cannot have longitudinal implications. Suppose there are some studies, even I forgot to tell you about longitudinal studies. Longitudinal studies, of course, given to you, longitudinal studies are studies conducted, same study is conducted at different points in time. Okay. Suppose it is a cohort study. Suppose in a village, you have taken a village as a study sample. In a village, you studied, or in a town you studied the this one um, rate of diabetic patients uh, in a city 10 years back, and their factors. Then after 10 years, again you are studying the same group without any change. You are trying to study them. uh, what is the rate of this one diabetic patient in that particular city, same population, and now what are the factors contributing to diabetics. So this is called uh, longitudinal study. Even people conduct some of the studies, they conduct for 100 years or more than that. So there are groups who conduct such studies. So those are longitudinal studies or like linear studies. These are not possible under qualitative research. As I said, you in-depth interviews. In-depth interviews are. undertaken in qualitative study. I have more or less spoken about this in-depth interviews. Um, you will see do's and don'ts in in-depth interview. Okay. While conducting in-depth interviews, what do you have to do is you have to stay very controlled and appear friendly and responsive. You cannot be very much emotional. You cannot be emotional by seeing the situation of the respondents. One, you fall into that trap, your research finding will be affected. So sometimes, at times when you conduct research on sensitive matters, it is likely that you fall prey to emotional situation. So you should stay controlled and appear friendly also. You should appear friendly, otherwise people will not disclose, or people will not express their experiences and feelings. So you have to be friendly. You have to do building prior to your question making. So you need to have these things as do's. Then downs, against that, you don't appear threatened or bored or interrogative. You should not be authoritative. You should not have only context for your. You should not have much emphasis on only research practice. You will be friendly. Your appearance should be friendly. Then only people come close to you and they express the things they feel. They have to feel that you are like a friend. You are the person who can be expressed thing, even secrets of life. So that situation you have to create as a in-depth interviewer. Then you should give the adequate time to respond, especially during some sensitive personal issues. Okay. You cannot hurry. There are researchers who usually get hurry to complete their work within a limited time. That is due to fund crunch or lack of financial support. They want to complete the work, research work, within a short span of time with less expenditure. But while studying qualitative studies, that is a disadvantage, that you have to give more time. You have to give more space to the respondents, so that feels he or she feels comfortable enough to respond to your questions. Okay. And sometimes it is also difficult when your informant or respondent tries to recall things. And language, the temperament and the language and speed of your language is very important when you speak. You should have that this one temperament. The speed of language should be according to the this one level of education of the respondent and level of understanding of the respondent. You should always go up to the level of the this one informant or respondents, uh, to adopt a language. You should use simple language that can be understood by the um, respondent. Otherwise, the responses, the answers really differ, and this one, the results this one are different than what we expect. Then um, make use of non-verbal cues while understanding, particularly while doing qualitative investigation or qualitative study. It is very important that you observe, you observe through your eyes what non-verbal cues the respondent gives. Okay, non-substantive gestures uh, also need to be taken care of. You should try to understand. Sometimes, see, um, the informants are this one likely to respond the questions in favor of them. They don't want to be insulted. They don't want. They sometimes hesitate to express some of the sensitive matters. One simple example, um, very simple, simplest one. If you ask um, uh, a person, what is your salary? Okay, what is your salary? There are many men who can just I mean they this one uh, say an increased version of their salary when you are asked about their salary, because they don't want to be insulted. This is an example in a situation where people try to change their this one expression, and uh, um, what you have to do in this in such situation is you also have to see whether that person is through his facial expression, whether that person is speaking true or truth or lying. You have to find. Sometimes I once I went to investigate the impact assessment of this one industrial this one mm, manufacturing among some local people. Some people, while this one I was trying to assess their home appliances and home status, I mean house status of their house, uh, so that they can be recompensated. Some people, what they did, they stayed in their cow shed, animal shed, and said they are living in that house. Okay, and I have to observe even some people when they live in huts or cow shed. If I don't say that people don't live in cow shed, but when people live in a cow shed, that is a different space. That looks different when people live in cow shed. That I had to make or differentiate whether humans are living in this cow shed or they are lying to be living in the cow shed. So, through my observation, I was trying to find out that many of the people tried to this one, uh, hide their real housing condition in that situation. So here, what helps is your this one observation, bodily gestures, or observation of the sound, this one surroundings, observation of the verbal cues, how they speak. While speaking lies, they are most likely to stumble down, or they are most likely to stump. That's why you have to see this verbal gestures also while interacting through in-depth interview. Then sometimes when you go to a particular section of people, when you go to uh, people of a particular sect or a particular area, you have to be aware of your cultural attires, your dress, your this one body gestures. You should make according to the local taste, local interest of the culture, so that people accept you easily. You are acceptable among the people and they take you among themselves. and they feel more comfortable to they should express the realities of their life in qualitative studies. That's why you have to be more sensitive towards their different uh, culture, cultural pattern, and cultural taste. Then, of course, I was also speaking to you about focus group discussion earlier while speaking about qualitative research. Um, eh, More or less, I have spoken to you about focus group discussion. Focus group discussion, we take this one certain number of groups starting from 12 to 15, 12 to 15 people of different groups, okay, of a group from by using different criteria like um, education, socioeconomic status. Then it depends, very often it depends on the problem you are studying. If you are studying on education, then you have to take the criteria according to that. If you are studying on health, then you have to um, take the group accordingly. If you are studying on adolescent health, you have to take parents and adolescent groups according to the interest of the study. If you are studying on uh, all days problems, then you have to take the group accordingly, okay, the caretakers and the aged people who can express you about that. Then you can, if you are studying about this one labors, child labors, then you have to take the group like the employers and the uh, um, child right protectors and the community members who could be um, respondent groups, so that there can be meaningful addition, a focus group discussion on the issues. So you have to, as a researcher, you have to play a moderator role. um, this moderator role, sometimes it is likely that there should be conflict between this one uh, contrasting groups. There will be counter argument among the people. In those situations, emotionally charged situation also may happen, where you have to uh, take some flexible stances and trying to control the situation. You have to play moderator's role in that, in those situations. And you have to be you have to have a facilitators when uh, while conducting focus group discussion. And group of people, at least a group of 2 or 3 people are best for conducting focus group discussion. Researcher alone may not be able to capture all the reactions, bodily gestures, and speaking of the people in a focus group discussion. And when you go for focus group discussion, at least make a group of 2 or 3 people. One may be with recorder or camera, who can always focus on people expressing their ideas and experiences, and one can devote to asking relevant questions, and the other can uh, be useful in moderating the situations. So 2 3 people can have better group focus group discussions, okay. Then usual things happen in focus group discussion. uh, and the other and there is also, it is also important that you record all the responses given by the people from the focus group discussion uh, verbatim as they express without changing much of the things. Then I was saying case study. The another important approach to qualitative research is case study. It is this one in-depth investigation of particular individual, group, or institutions, or community, or organization. If you are studying about an individual, you have in the context of a particular problem. Suppose you are conducting a case study of child labor, then you have to look the entirety of the child's background, socioeconomic background, genetic background, parental situation, its social environment, and socioeconomic condition, peer group situation, then uh, other immediate causes. So you are trying to have a holistic understanding about the person or child labor. Similarly, when you, as I said, when you are studying about a school, you have to understand them in detail. So here some guiding points are given. That can be historical case study, observational case study, oral history or case study, situational case study, clinical case study, and multi-case case study, and individual case study, community case study of social groups, different at different level with different context we can undertake case studies. Another very recently popularized method under particularly under anthropology is is your ethnography. You know what is ethnic? Ethnicity means students, what is ethnicity? Ethnic group. Anyone has any idea about ethnicity? Students, am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. Do you have any idea about ethnicity? Yes. Ethnic group means a group of people um, following particular set of culture, particular they have a particular uh,
Yes,
background or
hello.
group, genetic, inheritance. Yes, yes. You want to say something, Simba?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Hello.
Simba, you wanted to say something? Okay. Yes. Um, People having a common genetic root, okay, genetic having common culture, okay, common culture, common languages and common this one tradition, and they have almost have similar background, similar historical background, are called as ethnic group. Okay, ethnic group. And in ethnography, in ethnography, um, which comes under qualitative research, in ethnography, what is done is entire ethnographic situation in relation to the language, the dress pattern, the housing pattern, the this one uh, food culture, and ornamental behavior, and the occupation, livelihood practices of that particular group is studied. Okay, is studies. And for ethnographic study, one has to be among the particular ethnic group to understand it from a very closer look. Okay, very closer look. It, ethnographer in ethnography, generally study is not for individual persons. It is not done in the perspective of individual persons, but the study is conducted in the perspective of group of people, or that ethnic group. Okay, and their kinship, their behavior patterns, their culture, their food patterns, their festivals, their traditional practices, their beliefs, everything you have to uh, conduct to understand the ethnic group. That is also that also comes under qualitative research. These things are uh, given. You can go through this material for better understanding. Usually, ethnography is conducted for indigenous people who are detached from the mainstream society, and to understand their problems of development, their problems of livelihood, and other aspects. These ethnographic studies are conducted so that they can better be helped in their economic life, and social life, and cultural life for improvement and education. The other one of this one um, qualitative research is participatory research. Participatory research is the one where um, people or subjects or communities uh, completely participate in the process of uh, research. That can be participatory learning action research, or that can be rapid rural appraisal, that is RRA, and participatory rural appraisal, that is PRA. um, More or less these things are almost same kinds of things, with thin difference between them. Thin difference between them. Participatory research uh, involves all these techniques, that is participatory rural appraisal, then participatory learning action, then rapid rural appraisal. What happens in participatory rural appraisal? In participatory rural uh, appraisal, what happens? You have to the community go to particularly this research is had been designed to this one understand the rural setting, their livelihood, their culture, their cultural values, belief system, their resources in the community. All these things were studied under participatory rural appraisal with complete participation of the community people. Participation of the community people, and people are the center of investigation, at the center of investigation, and they conduct the whole thing of appraisal by using different approaches. Okay, they they only set the priorities, they determine the needs, and they collect what kind of data can be collected, and um, this is particularly done when need is emerged, when there is a need for that. Okay, when some um, organization goes to a particular area to implement or launch a program, development program in that area, uh, participatory appraisal, rural participatory appraisal is conducted. And in order to have a stake, okay, stake taking activity, there is a need of participatory rural appraisal. There are certain this one skills used in participatory rural appraisal. A person from the community itself, okay, community itself is selected by the people to draw resource mapping of the community, and that is called resource mapping or participatory community mapping. They locate entire resources of the community like this. You will see where this one, where is school, where school is located in which part of the village, where what is the communication facility, road communication facility, and what are, where are this one water resources, then religious this one houses, where is community resource center, and crop fields. Many resources that contribute to the development of a rural village or community are displayed through a map, and this is done by the people themselves. Okay, they participate, they know where what are the resources available in the community, and uh, what this one how they are managed, who are the people, where the which is the house of this one head of the community or chief, community chief. Many other things are located through this resource mapping or participatory community mapping. Then the second thing done is transact walk. Transact walk. Group of people from the community along with the researcher uh, move through this one. This is also known as walk and talk. Walk and talk also. This is also called as walk and talk. When they walk about the community from one end to the other end, everywhere, they try to describe different resources located in different areas of the village. They walk and talk about different resources available in the community, and they also try to understand the problems, the community, the problems caused to the community people, like flood and uh, this one floods or earthquake or any other problems happening in the community, or crop failure. Why these happen? Scarcity of irrigation. All these things are understood through transact work or walk and talk. Then to understand the this one hierarchy, power hierarchy, or economic hierarchy, or income difference, this one differences among people, income differences among people. Usually wealth ranking is done. Okay, wealth ranking they do. Wealth ranking is done by the people because they know which family has what income, what sources of income, and size of income. That's why the people themselves conduct the wealth ranking. They put uh, uh, wealth ranking among the people, and um, they this ranking also, along with this, they also try to rank different facilities in the village, which is the largest this one benefited service provided in the village. You will see, you can see here um, uh, chapati diagram depicting the ranking of the problems. So which is the biggest problem in the community and which is the smallest one. So this is problem ranking. I was saying about wealth ranking. This is problem ranking. Problem ranking, they see which is the biggest problem that should be prioritized first to address. So here these people have, in chapati diagram, they have shown displayed PDS problem is the biggest problem, and PDS means public distribution system. Okay, in Indian context, it is public distributive system where government distributes some rations to the poor people under BPL category, below poverty line, those who fall under below poverty line, and in Indian public system, they are provided with free rations, free ration to the people, like rice, this one dal, and this one sugar, and very basic things. Okay, so it also differs in areas. Wheat also, some people are provided, and um, pulses also, some people are provided. It differs in areas, and they are provided with some food materials. So in this particular community, they have placed PDS as the biggest problem. And next is your road blockage. Road communication is um, blocked by many unwanted structures in the village. That's what they have a place that should be addressed. Then they have also given next priority is given to doctors visits or health professional visit or help to that community. Then education problem. So this is how they have, the people themselves have ranked their problems. Similarly, the income also is ranked in the community. Who are the people? How many people have this one highest income above the 1 lakh or 2 lakhs of rupees, and how many people are lowest in rank? That also is shown in this one wealth ranking. Then this is Venn diagram. um, See, according to the priority of this one the people's position, organizational setting, or individuals, and interrelationship between people, they are placed in the Venn diagram. Okay, Venn diagram, and it provides valuable insights into the mutual relationship between different people, different categories of people in the community. And it also um provides idea about sociogram. Okay, sociogram. And sociogram means the relationship between and among the people of different groups in a particular community. You can read the material to have a better understanding about this. uh, then calendars calendars also are done. This is particularly uh, made for the people to know their this one, food production all through the years. In the month of January, what food production they have in the community. In February, what they have, to understand how long they have this one agricultural activities or employment. This calendar can be used for work activities and their production, magnitude of production, in what month they have crop yielding, and this one in what month they have different problems like flood. This is I think about this one this is a mixed calendar. It's about flood in which month it comes. It comes in the month of April, May, June, July, August, and September. Then your soil erosion happens in what month? That is in September, October, and November, according to the knowledge of the people. Then malaria occurs in which month? That occurs in September, October, November, and December. And this one crop growing happens in which month? This one January, February, March, April, and these months a crop growing or showing happens in the rural villages. And in which months they migrate? They migrate in month May, June, July and August. Why? Because they don't have cropping time these days, they don't have sowing time these days. That's why they go to the urban areas for industrial as industrial labors. Then handicraft they do in which month? They do in October, November, and December. So their activity calendar has also can be done under participatory rural appraisal. There are many other things to be done in participatory rural appraisal. These are the basic things how you can understand the entire picture of rural community in different ways. That is participatory. With the participation of the people, people themselves undertake all these things. As a researcher, you have to organize these informations and interpret this information to produce informative material in your research. Then observation, as I said earlier, this one participatory observation and non-participatory observation. You have to see, understand that observation also is a very rich this one means of information. Very, and it is more accurate. It can be more accurate than um, any other ones, because you directly observing things with your own eyes, and you are experiencing things through your own sense organs. You are not reading from others writing, or You are not listening from others merely, you are trying to experience the thing with your own eyes, own ears, and own physical presence. That is what observation is all about. And you uh, you can gather more reliable, more valid information through observation, because there is no greater thing than physically looking at things and understanding them. Okay, so observation is completely flexible, and it is just looking at communities as laboratories, and understanding things bit more flexible ways. Yes, another very important aspect of qualitative research is um, this one, narration, narratives, creating narratives. Sometimes people in the community, or people among the subject of your study, have different kinds of this one, narration. Okay, narrating things. Sometimes you have to capture um, some narratives given by the people. It is also very important source of information in qualitative studies. You see, when I went to a village and interact with people, he said, "Sir, there is there is no boundary in the school. Sorry, there is no boundary of this school, and when human children um, go out from the schools, the class begins for animal children." I mean, what the, he this was his narration. He said when school classes for human children and gets end, the classes for animal children begins in the school. That means uh, in the evening at 2 or 4 o'clock, when children um, go home after classes, all animals gather in the school, because the school doesn't have any boundary. Okay, any boundary. This is how certain things are narrated on walls, certain things are narrated verbally by the people, and in their songs, that you have to capture. Narrations. Okay, narrations are created among the people in different objects. You even sometimes they are narrated in utensils, sometimes on walls. Okay, uh, in India, some areas we have talking walls or speaking walls, uh, which contain a lot of information about different issues of health and education. So uh, they have different messages on the walls. Huh? They have different messages on the walls, and temples have many things inscribed in on their walls. That has to be captured and interpreted to explain a problem, explain a phenomenon in the society. That can be done through uh, interpretation of different narratives. Even these are movies and films also have different narrations. Songs also have different narrations that could be interpreted to relate the problem of a particular community or a society in interpretation of narrations. These narratives can be this one understood from different such this one sources of information. Students may take few questions if you have. Uh, then we can wind up the class. I'm not feeling well today as well. Okay. Any questions, queries? Okay, students. See you in the next class tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir.
Bye and good night.
You have done your good part.
Welcome. You are
Sorry,
welcome.
you've been making more sick, but we
Yes.
appreciate.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, I'm trying to make it because of my bad health these days. At least for 2 3 days, I will be suffering. Just started, and I'm trying to address the things. But then I hope I am doing justice to you. And if any problem, you can just tell me. We can find other ways. Okay. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Superintendent Myron, please call me, please, soon after this class. Please, please, please.
Okay, I will. I will.
Thank you.